Hi there, missed me? Well, I have been away for about a week, so I can understand why. But even if you said no under your breath, I will let that pass just for today because I'm really excited to try out this new eyeliner cum magnetic lash bond product from Lilly Lashes. Now, before I start yapping, I have to clarify that the Lilly Lashes magnetic eyeliner has been old and a lot has been said about that. But what is actually new by this brand is this felt tip eyeliner pen, which is actually more difficult to do in a magnetic applicator. So today we are going to try just that. Since I talked about the magnetic liquid eyeliner, I have to put out a disclaimer that even though we all heard of how it wasn't the best eyeliner for its magnetic properties, I haven't tried it, so I would not be able to actually tell you if I agree with those views. But what I can definitely comment on is this eyeliner pen. So let's start unboxing. Here is the pen packaging. It is pretty basic, nothing fancy. The pen itself retails for about 30 bucks. So just to clarify, it is pricey. But if you get an adhesive with magnetic properties, then we can actually save on having to buy a separate lash glue as well. So that should make up for some of the lost dollars. Now let's try the felt tip pen, because that is something that I do get a little finicky about. Okay, that was very nice and smooth, very dark shade as well. I do enjoy a little bit of gloss, and if I just zoom in this, you'll be able to see it has a little bit of a glossy look. It's not as matte. So I am not complaining. I do prefer the glossy over the matte ones. So this is already looking good to me. Now the brand does say to let the eyeliner dry for a couple of minutes before we go in and stick on those eyelashes. Also, it seems that the company does not believe in the strength of its own product, as it does say to go in a couple of times with the liner for getting that maximum hold. Now we'll first try with one layer because I definitely don't want to over apply my eyeliner to the eye contour. Now that the eyeliner is dry, or at least so it seems, and I don't have any residue on my finger even if I touch it, so I think I can go in with my lashes now and try and stick it on this and see if it's the real deal. Okay, so here are my lashes and here is the eyeliner. I'm going to try and stick it all on the eyeliner and see if this really works. Moment of truth, it actually works. I'm really happy about that. Though I would say it does not seem as strong a hold as one of those magnetic lashes and eyeliners from Glamnetic, which I have tried and they're linked right about here. But it does seem to hold on good enough, and just because I did one swipe, I can see why they recommend doing a couple of swipes, because probably the magnetic properties of this pen are not as strong. Now, if you notice, it did stick on very well here. So even if I pull it, it doesn't really come off. But right about here, it's actually a little loose and it's starting to get pulled. So I would prefer to do a couple of layers on my eyelashes just to get that strong hold. One good thing about this lash pen is that a lot of times when you apply your eyelashes, they start to take off a lot of the magnetic properties. So a lot of the product actually comes off. But in this case, I don't see a lot of it coming off with the lashes, which is great because even if my lashes fall, I still want an eyeliner. So with that, let's try this lash pen or the eyeliner pen on the actual place where it should be. As you can see, I have already applied my eyeliner and I'm gonna let it dry for a couple of minutes only to be able to see the actual effect of it, because the brand suggests keeping it on for a couple of minutes before going in with the lashes. I have definitely fanned it as well, so if they still do not work, it's not my problem. So while we're waiting, I do want to mention that the eyeliner pen applies really well. It's very smooth and it goes on very beautifully. I do enjoy a little bit of a chrome look, which is the glossy look on my eyeliner. So that's definitely a plus. So even though the magnetic effect may or may not work, I will definitely be using this because I've paid 30 bucks for it. Now let's go in with the eyelashes. I'm going to be using my fingers and not an eyelash tool, which is why I'm not wearing any nails today, only to be able to really let loose, allow it to actually sit on my eyelash rather than just move around. So let's start with one eye. Wow, so the middle section is really stuck very well. They are magnetic, so I did assume that they would stick in the corners as well. But maybe I will have to go in with my fingers again and try and put in a little bit more of the eyeliner to really make it stick, because it seems that it starts to come off right from the edges, which is not something I want. Okay, so this is all I can do on one side. Let's try the other side, and maybe that one would stick better because it's been waiting for quite some time. Now, at least for the eyelash, I definitely like the shape of it. It is the bonded type, which is described as a dramatic but gradually layered lash. Now, I can already see that even though they seem to somewhat work on the back of my hand, they don't necessarily work that well on the eyes because it's probably a more curved surface. But they're necessarily made for that, so I am not sure why. If you notice, especially from the inner corners, it starts to come off very quickly, which is not great. What is the point of a magnetic eyeliner if it cannot make my lash stick? Okay, so now I'm wearing both my eyelashes. Now, if you can notice, they're actually coming out from the middle section, and unfortunately, they're not very comfortable to wear. It's already starting to itch my upper eyelashes section, so I'm not very comfortable with the band itself. It seems a little bit heavy, and that's not what you would want. Now I can see why the brand itself said to apply a couple of times with the eyeliner, because probably the magnetic property is very light and I don't think it can really act like a lash glue. I am going to go in a little bit more, especially in the inner corners, try and stick that and see if I can still make it work. Okay, so this is my second try with a different lash, and I think this one is really making it work. But if you notice, my eyeliner is much thicker now, which is unfortunately something that I do not enjoy, but hooray to this if it can still make it work. The lashes are about 30 bucks as well, so they are a little pricey, and since you can only use the magnetic section for up to a few uses, I'm not sure if I'm really enjoying these or would prefer another brand that really works, and that's something that worked with Glamnetic. Again, linked about here, so if you want to go in and check that out, do so, because in that the band wasn't that heavy and it did not feel as thick. I did not have to go in a couple of times with my eyeliner, so that's definitely something I don't enjoy, the extra weight on my lash line. I would probably go with another brand or just the OG lashes from Lilly Lashes and their adhesive bond, because that does work, and I can probably ditch this just for the magnetic properties. But for now, since I have the eyeliner, I'm going to be using it. I like the glossy liner. I think I've said it 1,000 times, but not for the adhesiveness. So since with a little wind, I would probably be waiting for these to just fly off. I wouldn't recommend these lashes for anybody. So that was all for my review of the Lilly Lashes Click Magnetic Felt Tip Eyeliner Pen. If you enjoyed spending time with me, don't forget to smash that like button and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will see you in my next video, but until then, you take care, love yourself, and stay healthy. Bye.